Alright viewers, so welcome to another wonderful time with Sport Time with Global Entertainment News, where we give you the updates on the world of sports, how it happens around the world. I still remember your host, Ogu Stephen. Now I'm moving to our top story from Guardians Nigeria. Ancelotti, my time at Real Madrid could be up, says Ancelotti. Carlos Ancelotti admits his future at Real Madrid is in doubt, claiming his time could be up as early as tomorrow, but will always be grateful to the club. Madrid were knocked out of the Champions League quarter-finals 5-1 on aggregate by Arsenal as they looked at shadow of the team that won the competition in two of the last three seasons. Ancelotti contract at the Bernabeu runs until 2026. Madrid boss Ancelotti said, "It could be this year, next year when my contract runs out. There is no problem about it, but when I am done here, I will be grateful to this club. It could be tomorrow, in 1 year, or in 10 years, but I will be grateful to this club at that is full stop." Arsenal were better than us. We tried to do our best. Maybe the overturned penalty was a turning point that could have changed it, but Arsenal defended very well. We fought in defense to find space where we better than normal in other intensity level, but it wasn't enough. This is a very big one for Ancelotti. Having explained himself how that game was ended, it was very very tight for Real Madrid side to be able to come back in that match. Alright, moving on to our next story. Wow. Manchester United stunned Lyon in 9-goal Europa League Classic to reach semi-final. Manchester United came from 4-2 down in extra time to beat Lyon 5-4 in a remarkable Europa League quarter-final to progress 7-6 on aggregate on Thursday. United's season looked very over when Lyon came from 2-0 down to lead by 2 goals until just 6 minutes remaining at Old Trafford, despite having captain Corentin Tolisso sent off. However, a Bruno Fernandes penalty, Kobe Mino strike and Harry Kane header capped a stunner finale to set up the semi-final meeting with Atletico Bilbao. I felt that here everything is possible, said United boss Ruben Amorim. After the 4-3, the penalty from Bruno, you feel that you can change the game. The Red Devils sit 14th in the English top 5, and defeat would have almost certainly means missing out of the European football entirely next season. Instead, they are just 3 games away from a European trophy and the lifeline of direct access to the riches of the Champions League next season. Well, that yesterday game was actually one of the biggest games I ever expected. I never felt or feel Man U were going to come back in that game. You can see I'm actually wearing Manchester United jersey today. I saw that game as one of the greatest comeback. Just 7 minutes, we saw 3 goals in 7 minutes. It was actually a very big stunner for Lyon. They never expected that coming at all. All right, moving on to our next story of the Guardians today. Inter Milan dreaming of treble glory after reaching Champions League semis. Inter Milan treble dream is alive and kicking after reaching the semi-final of the Champions League on Wednesday thanks to a 2-2 draw with Bayern Munich as the Serie A giants won a pulsating last 8 tie 4-3 on aggregate. The Italian champion Inter Milan will face Barcelona in the semi-final after goals in the space of 3 minutes from captain Lautaro Martinez and Benjamin Pavard cancelled out the Hurricane strike for Bayern, which levelled the tie in 52 minutes. Eric Dier looping header in the 76 minutes earned Bayern a draw on the night in a sinking and blustering Milan, but that wasn't enough for Vincent Kompany's side to continue the bid to crown king of Europe for the 7th time. Simone Inzaghi said side came through an awful condition at the San Siro, where a combination of heavy rain and driving rain affected both teams' ability to play their best football, but added uncertainly the tension to an already highly charged occasion. Wow, I think It's actually going to be a big tie. Seeing Inter Milan facing Barcelona in the semi-final this season, it's going to be a very tough one, I tell you. And Barca has also proven to be a side that scores more goals, same as Inter Milan with their good defense this season. Alright, moving up straight to our next story from the Europa League. Solanke keeps cool from Spurs to send Tottenham Hotspur through the European League semi-finals. Maybe Anga Postecoglou luck has finally turned after the manager complained that the football gods were against him last week. Dominic Solanke's penalty after an intervention from the video assistant referee of the Australian Perth review was enough to seal the side progress to the semi-finals. Postecoglou has probably regretted rather his decision to point out back in September after a defeat to Arsenal that he also wins trophy in his second year at the club. But after the North London rival eased past the might of Real Madrid 24 hours earlier, Tottenham Hotspur also still have something to hang on into the season. But this is actually a very big one for Tottenham Hotspur, seeing them move to that position semi-final. Nobody expected Tottenham having a very poor performance in the league, seeing them moving okay in the Europa League is actually a very good success for them. Other more stories coming up from Liverpool. Van Dijk signs new 2-year Liverpool contract worth up to €400,000 a week. Virgil van Dijk has said that there was never any doubt in his mind about staying at Liverpool after he signed a 2-year contract worth €400,000 a week. The Liverpool captain followed Mohamed Salah in the committing of his future at Anfield until 2027, having indicated a deal was close after he scored the winner against West Ham on Sunday. This is actually a very big boost for Liverpool, having one of the best defenders in the world, if I'm not mistaken, the best defender in the world, Van Dijk, in their team, signing another 2-year deal with his contract ending this end of the season, signing another 2-year deal at Anfield, staying till 2027. A good boost after Mohamed Salah himself have signed last week. We saw that boost for Liverpool fans having to see Van Dijk still in their team. All right, moving up to our result for this week's games on the Champions League and the Europa League. And the Champions League, we saw Atletico Bilbao edging Rangers 2-0 on that night on aggregate, seeing the aggregate 2-0 after having a 0-0 draw at the first leg. Frankfurt lose to Tottenham Hotspur 1-0, total aggregate win. Tottenham wins on aggregate 2-1. Lazio trashed Bordeaux 3-1 and wins 3-2 on penalties. Bordeaux wins 3-2 on penalties rather. Manchester United ended that score sheet 5-4 to the aggregate. We saw Manchester United coming out of that aggregate 7-6 on aggregate. Moving straight to our next conference league. In the conference league, we saw Chelsea losing to Legaroso 2-1 in that encounter and having the aggregate 4-2 on aggregate. We saw Rapid Vienna losing to Dodger Garden 4-1 in that encounter. We saw Dodger Garden moving 4-2 on aggregate in that encounter. Then Fiorentina had a 2-2 draw against Celje. Fiorentina wins on aggregate 4-3. Dodgela Blancdogs having a 1-1 draw against Real Betis. We saw Real Betis already done needful at the first leg. Betis wins on aggregate 3-1. Alright, on Wednesday we saw Newcastle trashing out Crystal Palace 5-0 on that encounter. In the Champions League, we saw Inter Milan having a 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich. Inter wins 4-3 on aggregate. And we saw Real Madrid losing to Arsenal in the second leg. Arsenal winning 5-1 on aggregate in that encounter. Alright, in the second half of the Champions League, we saw Aston Villa beating PSG 3-2 in that encounter, but PSG have eventually won 5-4 on aggregate. Dortmund trashing Bayern in that second leg, But Barcelona already did the needful at the first leg, winning 5-3 on aggregate. All right, so many features coming up this weekend. And on Friday, today, we'll be seeing Espanyol in La Liga hosting Getafe. In Ligue 1, we'll be seeing Rennes hosting Nantes. All right, on Saturday, we'll be seeing Brentford will be hosting Brighton. Crystal Palace will be hosting at Bournemouth. Everton will be hosting Manchester City. West Ham will be hosting Southampton. Aston Villa will be hosting Newcastle. And in the Bundesliga on Saturday, we'll be seeing Freiburg hosting Hoffenheim. Oldham will be hosting Bayern Munich. Mainz will be hosting Wolfsburg. Leipzig will be hosting Osterkel. Werder Bremen will be hosting Bochum. Union Berlin will be hosting Stuttgart. And in the Serie A, we'll be seeing Lecce hosting Como. Monza will be hosting Napoli, while Roma will be hosting Verona. Moving straight to La Liga, we'll be seeing Rayo Vallecano hosting Sevilla, Valencia rather. Barcelona will be hosting Celta Figo. Mallorca will be hosting Leganes, and Las Palmas will be hosting Atletico Madrid. And in the League One also, we'll see PSG hosting Le Havre. Monaco will be hosting Strasbourg. Marseille will be hosting Montpellier. And on Sunday, so many games coming up on Sunday where we'll be seeing Fulham hosting Chelsea at home. Ipswich will be hosting Arsenal. Manchester United will be hosting Wolfsburg. Leicester will be hosting Liverpool. And the Bundesliga will also be seeing Augsburg hosting Frankfurt. Dortmund will be hosting Mönchengladbach. And St. Pauli will be hosting Leverkusen. And in the Serie A, we'll be seeing Empoli hosting Venezia. Bologna will be hosting Inter Milan. AC Milan will be hosting Atlanta. And in La Liga, we've seen Valladolid hosting Osasuna. Villarreal will be hosting Real Sociedad. Sevilla will be hosting Alaves, while Real Madrid will be hosting Atletico Bilbao. And the League One, we'll see so many games coming up on Sunday where we'll be seeing Lille hosting Auxerre. Brest will be hosting Lens. Nice will be hosting Angers, while Reims will be hosting Toulouse. Saint-Etienne will be hosting Olympiacos Lyon. Alright, thank you viewers for watching, for staying tuned at Global Entertainment News Sports Time Show. I still remember your host, Ogu Stephen. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on all our social media platforms for more updates and news on the world of sports. God bless you. Bye for now.